Here's part one of what Sandra Morgan did while she was on the Fiscal Oversight Commission for East Cleveland.
I'd like to address the Fiscal Oversight Commission and maybe bust a few myths regarding the roles and responsibilities of this group. I served on the Fiscal Oversight Commission for about 5 years, and it was my pleasure and my honor to serve on that commission. And I think that it was really important because it gave me critical insight into the functioning of our budget. And I think that's important for anyone who wants to hold leadership roles in the city of East Cleveland to understand where the money is coming from and where the money is going. But let's talk about what the roles and responsibilities of the Fiscal Oversight Commission are or were and what they are not. So it was not the role of the Fiscal Oversight Commission to manage the day-to-day spending of East Cleveland. That was up to the mayor's office, his finance director, and the various departments. And so as they had needs and as they had goals and they set responsibilities for the city forward, it was their responsibility to figure out how the money was being spent. Now, as an oversight commission, it was our job to make sure that the administration was appropriately shepherding the funds in ways that made sense for the residents. But we did not have the authority to stop payment or to tell the mayor or his or her administration exactly what they could do. So, in other words, if we said, we don't think it's prudent for you to spend money on X, Y, and Z, and the administration spent money on X, Y, and Z anyway, we really didn't have much that we could do about it because, after all, the money had already been spent. The way that we would be able to manage the administration was via sanction, which is how we functioned. And so, as an example, the city right now is under an 85% cap, and that is a sanction. We're not allowed to spend 100% of whatever our budget is or what we spent from the previous year because the city is being sanctioned. And that sanction comes from the state of Ohio. There were times when there was a vote on whether or not the city could spend some money, and that was because the state placed caps on what the spending could be. So if it went over a certain amount, then we could vote on it, and many times we voted no because it would have been over outside of our budget and over what we had to spend responsibly. And so I just want you all to know, because I've heard on the streets once again, well, Sandra Morgan was on the Fiscal Oversight Commission and she already knew what the budget was and she didn't do anything about it, or, they allowed Brandon to spend money and he didn't have the right to spend the money. Well, you know what? The bottom line is that, yes, we were an oversight commission. We could sanction the city of East Cleveland, which we did a couple of times in order to curtail spending. But the bottom line was that the administration did what they wanted to do. And that's the way it is. So if you'd like to learn more information about the role of the Fiscal Oversight Commission and some of the repercussions that our city may face as a result of noncompliance, please pay attention to part 2 of my conversation about the Fiscal Oversight Commission. To learn more about my plans for the city of East Cleveland or to hear updates, please visit friendsofsandramorgan.com.